Today we are in Augusta, Missouri, visiting the folks at Augusta Winery, and we're going to get a taste of Norton, which is Missouri's state grape.
We're in the heart of Augusta at the Augusta Winery. This is where we produce our estate bottled wines. What I mean by that is that we grow the grapes on our own land. We don't buy grapes from other commercial growers, and we have total control over the entire operation. We grow primarily French American hybrids. We grow the Norton, which is the Native American variety. Our goal is to produce wines that are a pure expression of the Augusta AVA, and Norton does that really well.
The official state grape of Missouri Norton is big and brusque and brooding and intense and not for the faint of heart. But that's what's fun about it. It's always going to have sort of a red cherry, red currant meats, kind of a little touch of prune, a little touch of plum character to it. It's often going to have a finish almost like red apple.
You know, I love the Norton grape, and I always have, and that was probably one of my reasons for starting grape growing and winemaking in Missouri. It produces a good, bold, hearty wine. It's a wide range of flavors and tastes. It expresses the ground that it's grown in. You move it to a different area, even in Missouri, and the wines taste completely different.
It's a grape that gives us wines that are distinctive. And this is what we demand of grapes. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of grapes. The reason that most people have only heard of a handful is because only a handful are distinctive, create wine that is identifiably itself. And Norton definitely is one of those things. When you smell a Norton and when you taste a Norton, if you've had any experience with the grape at all, you go, that could only be one thing. And that's Norton.
So I'm standing here in the Augusta Winery tasting room with Tony, and we're going to go through two different Nortons. One is the Reserve, and the 2016 won the C.V. Riley Award, which indicates that it is the best Norton in Missouri. What do you think made this wine so exceptional?
The two things that really make a wine are the vintage year and the soil that it's grown in. You really can't change the soil that it's grown in too much unless you move. But the vintage changes every single year, so that's kind of fun.
It's so fun how the same grape grown in different places will produce very, very distinct and different wines.
And this grape has been grown here in Augusta for over 150 years. Some of the vineyards that we use are that old, but sometimes you just have an exceptional year. And that's the way it was with 2016. At first, I didn't really like it. But then after it was in the barrel for a year and a half, then it really started to come around.
So you actually barreled this for a whole year and a half?
A little bit longer, really. Wow. Yeah, almost 2 years. We barrel it in Missouri oak. Mm-hmm. The wood comes from central Missouri, comes from Lebanon, and so it's not far from home.
It's all Missouri.
Yes, exactly.
Norton is extremely distinctive. It doesn't smell or taste like any other grape. It is really bold. It's very intense. If you like things like a Zinfandel or a Syrah, then you're going to be drawn to this type of a wine. And just on the aroma, I mean, it really smells like just jammy berries. It's like it explodes out of the glass. There's so much. It has a really good structure. It has a softness to it, but the flavor just lingers. It just kind of stays there. It's wonderful.
The Norton does have a little higher acidity than most wines that you'll taste, but it accents the flavors. And if what you enjoy doing is drinking wine and eating, which I do, the acidity helps cleanse your palate.
One of the really special things about Missouri is that this state has such a rich history of winemaking, and with the first AVA in the entire country located right here in Augusta, there's so much that current winemakers are kind of pulling from in terms of, working with these grapes.
One of the things that we try to do is we're trying to express the grape variety that we have and the area that it's grown in, the Augusta AVA, We're not trying to imitate a Napa Valley Cabernet Sauvignon or a Bordeaux wine or a Southern Rhone wine. We're trying to make it exactly what it is.
The Augusta AVA is the site of a lot of really good wineries and a lot of really smart winemakers. With Augusta Winery specifically, it's a benchmark. It has won awards in competitions where I've been a judge in California numerous times. You can find a lot of good wines there.
For more information on the Norton grape, as well as Augusta Winery and all of the other incredible wineries here in Missouri, just head to MissouriWine.org. Thanks for joining me in Augusta, and cheers.